Got it.
We're ready to call the meeting to order at 5:09 p.m. We can go ahead and verify quorum.
Ms. Garrison?
Here.
Dr. Windsor?
Present.
Ms. Mendoza?
Yeah.
Ms. Cobage here. Dr. Tija?
Here.
Ms. Baker?
Here. Okay, with quorum verified, we can go on to discuss and approve the previous minutes. Does everybody have a copy of the previous minutes? Or here is, we're gonna shine it up.
I'm gonna shine it up.
Shine it up.
Does it look like that one? Yeah, it does.
Oh, do we need to acknowledge that there's guests in the room?
Sure. Yes.
Do you want to introduce the guests?
Mr. Gilmer, would you introduce your guest, please?
I have our high school or senior academy leadership council. We have Samuel Mendoza, Leo Aguilar, Ronald Robert, Viviana Munoz, Mara Ashford, and Deja Fundy.
And Mr. Gilmer is the Dean of Students.
Do I have to put all their names on them?
No.
And what about the
And we have Grandma.
I'm Viviana Aguilar. Here, right here.
How long have you been my friend, Miss Aguilar?
Years.
Years, right?
Yeah,
Since we began, right?
almost, yeah.
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 And I haven't offended you that much that you would leave, so thank you.
I'm still there.
She came to a board meeting. She came to a board meeting. And Dr. Tija, she found it online.
Oh, wow, all right.
There you go. That's a win today.
Okay, now we can
There we go.
discuss and vote to approve the previous minutes.
all motion?
I will second. Adoption is presented.
We can voice vote
And
that.
then we can do a voice vote. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed?
So we can move on into the executive report.
Nope.
We have our, yes.
Stop share this.
I don't know.
You teams it to me or
That's
I
right.
shared- I shared
Oh,
it
this
with
is the
you.
previous one.
on what?
I got it.
What is that?
So we use it in the classroom.
Upstairs. Minutes.
I'm serious. I don't know how to get there.
What do you know?
Which email?
Your Gmail. Or your Outlook.
My Outlook.
And you should be able to see my hat.
Do you want to screen
Oops.
share that?
Oh. That's me, Sean.
To my email?
Presentation shared.
Oh, there we go.
There you go.
All right. Thank you.
Doesn't matter how you use your open.
We'll share. Got it. Okay. You know what to do, right? Actually, you know what? It might be better if you guys are over there because the camera's going to look for you. Go over there.
Oh. Oh.
We are the leadership council, and this is our current idea address expansion.
I'm sure. I'm Deja.
I'm Leo.
Samuel.
I'm loyal.
Our goal as leadership council is to listen to the scholars' concerns and opinions with as much understanding as possible. We strive to be the voice of the high school students and the teachers with as much positive intent.
Our motives. The change to the dress code is so that students can feel more comfortable and relaxed with the thought of still looking formal. They'll be able to express themselves more with this type of clothing in this expansion.
Our clothing will be an example of that.
The current dress code is a Paideia polos with the logo, khaki or black jeans, no rips or bedazzlements on jeans. That would be designs on the back pockets or on the sides, no tights, closed-toe shoes, and plain hoodies with no designs.
So our proposal is to allow for a smart casual or a business casual type clothing look, allow for hoodies with like college logos on them, as the ASU one represents, allowing for a variety of colored jeans and like for like small school appropriate logos on hoodies, Nike, Adidas, little things that saying good. It's important to note that we're trying to expand the dress code, but our proposal is not to get rid of it. We're still going to keep the dress code.
This is now smart casual words. Smart casual is dressing loosely, without being too formal. It does buttons up with button up jeans and this one. It's about finding a balance between a shirt and feeling comfortable and feeling inspired with shoes or sneakers. You can also show off a personal style, like or anything. And I like more those that look also nice. You can avoid dressing too casual because we still need to represent formal and without looking like this formal. And like the SL area, those jeans and the guys make it look.
Can you read that bottom one again? Go back one?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Still wear shorts and okay, I got it. Thank you.
Fingertips, probably.
Fingerprints.
Arms on your side. No shorter than that.
That's the dress code that is now as well. Same way.
These pictures are examples of the description behavior. These are the principles we want to cross.
So these show statistics from a very, very different websites. 90% of students don't find academic improvement in dress code, meaning there's no correlation between dress code and how a student succeeds. A survey was taken, and of those participants, 80% saw that allowing a more free yet formal dress code improved morale, and 79.9% of ads that do mention a dress code mention some sort of relaxed attire.
We took some inspiration from Quorum with coaching behavior. Fashion is one way that students express themselves. That may be an important part of school experience. When students can show their individuality, they may not feel like they belong to fashion.
So the benefits of a more lenient dress code. So people might always have certain clothes at home that might not fit the dress code or whatnot. So it allows them to be a bit more varied in what they can choose from, and pick something that might not currently be allowed, but they might like. We don't want to wear outside now, but I work in school. Comparison for the real world. You guys are not all in Paideia dress code. Not most. Well, you are, but so is world. Most people don't have a uniformed dress code at work. There's sort of business casual. So it's sort of that preparation step that can be expressed in high school to jobs. And it encourages critical thinking because, again, you still have to think about what you're going to wear. You're not going to throw on shirt holes and sweatpants. That's not going to be allowed. So you got to do that, and also, vary it up to art and how you dress if you feel like it. It allows for that opportunity to do that. And again, it's their responsibility. If they're out of dress code, they will know it. There will be flyers and such that will have dress code images as there are now. So if they're out of dress code, it's their responsibility. They will do dress coding and continue on. So if they aren't in dress code, it's their fault.
As you're talking about that, could you tell me, like, as the leader of the campus, are there some glaring things that you would want me to look for that would be out of dress code? Because it is a little bit of
yeah.
a continuum. What would you want me to look for that would be not, I'm going to dress code that person?
That's a good question. So one thing that I can think of is that happened a few times last year is sweatpants. Yeah, that was rampant, too much, and I wouldn't consider that in dress code going forward. It's just it's not meant to be. You come off the sofa, it needs to be you come to school, but you're not having to wear a full polo and everything that makes you look like every other person.
Okay, anything else?
Not off the top of my head.
Anybody else?
I believe if you're looking at a student and it stands out and you can tell like that is not the dress code, like if you wouldn't want them at one of your meetings like us, how we're dressed right now, then you would know they're not in dress code and they don't fit the idea of look. It's nothing biased or anything, it's just they don't fit what you want to see at the school.
Okay, Leah.
I want to say that I noticed you asked us what we wanted. The main point of this presentation is so we can get approved by you guys. So what you guys will be looking for is you base the dress code off the slideshows, and if it didn't fit the description in which we provided, it wouldn't be allowed. Sweatpants, obviously not. Ripped jeans.
Okay. Thank you. Nothing, thank you.
Thank you. Any questions, comments, or concerns?
Go ahead.
One, great presentation. It takes a lot to put something like this together and to speak in front of a great job. My kind of questions are around, completely hear what you're saying. I think the flip side might be scholars who maybe can't afford to be in fashion or other kinds of things. How would you think that some scholars who only can like afford to have the Paideia polo and khaki pants are going to kind of fit into this kind of more relaxed kind of dress code?
That sort of discrimination can happen even with uniforms, because we're still allowed to wear whatever shoes we want. Kids are showing up at school with new shoes all the time. We're still allowed to wear earrings. People wear their makeup all the time, which can cause forms of discrimination because some people may not be allowed to wear that, or some people may not be able to afford it. So either way, it still exists in both circumstances. And if that does happen, the discipline, if that were to happen now, would be the same then. Whatever the principal and the dean have as the discipline and punishment would happen to the individual, and then it would go on from there.
That's also our whole idea, which is why our shirts cannot have logos and they have to be plain, because then somebody can't look at you and tell if you're wearing an expensive brand rather than, you know, a normal brand you can find anywhere. And a lot of people do complain about having to buy the shirts. So this is just another option for them if they didn't want to buy the shirts, which of course you can still just wear them in.
Great job. I give you guys kudos. I wouldn't have done this at your age. I barely can do this at my age. But so for me, I came from a school where we could wear whatever we want. And I saw a ton of discrimination because of that. One of the things I love as a parent is I know what I'm buying my kid. I get to go to the school, I get her shirts, and she gets jeans, easy as can be. Like there's no thought behind it. She gets up in the morning, she doesn't have to think about what she's putting on for an hour. I don't know how boys are these days, but girls, my goodness, like out the door is, you know, faster is better from a parent side of it.
Let me clarify though, is this just for ninth on, this is senior academy, right?
Yes.
Just senior academy only, right?
Yes.
Not the 7th and 8th grade,
No.
that's the 9th through 12th.
Yes.
So not quite there yet, but those are things that I would be concerned as a parent. I feel like the shirts here at Paideia are pretty, you know, fairly priced, and it's easy enough to come here, grab what I need for her school year, and jeans are easy enough to find. So I love it. I love the independence. I think I would be hesitant as a parent to agree to that. Maybe what if you did like a day or two a
As a
day?
public member, may I speak?
I'm like, yeah, sure.
I didn't submit a request to speak on this item.
You
I would
did?
like to, I did not. I know we usually, I've been to, public meetings before, and I know we've had to submit.
Yeah.
Little statement that we wish to speak. May I?
Do you have a,
Does anyone have any objection to us speaking?
Is there a way for them to talk to?
I just don't have a,
Do you usually have some?
we normally do. And today I ran out, my mind went out of,
I think as the chairperson, you can entertain a point of privilege.
there you go, thank you, Ben.
For a member of the public to speak. Yeah, we would have to. you can
I
voice
would
it.
like to,
You have to record them.
apply and approval to that group. Very can speak.
I second,
There you go.
Yes. Yeah, we'll need a roll call for that.
Okay. So Ms. Garrison, you're the one who,
Yes.
and I'm sorry, which one? Ms. Clutter? Voice. No, roll call, you said,
Roll
right?
call, yeah.
Okay, Ms. Garrison,
Yes.
Dr. Windsor,
Yes.
Ms. Mendoza,
Yes.
Ms. Hobeige, yes, Dr. Tejan,
Yes.
Ms. Baker.
Yes.
Motion carries, I'm on the board. Thank you very much. First of all, you guys did a fabulous job with your presentation. I'm very impressed. I did not know you guys were doing something like this today, but I am very impressed with the abilities, the way you guys got together and put this together. Awesome job. As a parent, I understand where this one's coming from, where it's easy to purchase from the school. However, I think there is some differences between the elementary and the junior high and high school level. Because I know I have a student at the elementary, and he wears jeans whenever he wants to, which is nice. But our older students aren't allowed to do that right now. And I don't think that's fair to them. I love that you guys come up with this idea of being able to wear jeans, being able to wear tops. You guys earned it, in my opinion. And I would like for the board to consider changing some of these, if all of them or some of them at least, to give them a little privilege, a little acknowledgement that they've been here, they're doing the work. And hey, this is high school. In high school, we got to wear what we wanted. Yes, some people do have more money than others, and that's okay. We're not going to go and rub it in each other's faces. That's what the school teaches. We are a big family, so our students know better than to do that. So my opinion is approve the dress code policy.
Thank you, Ms. Aguilar. Awesome.
Thank you.
I would like one of you, and Verdiana, you were going to say something. I saw it coming out.
Yeah, I just want to point out that that's one of the big differences between the school and other schools, is that things like bullying or discrimination isn't really something we just let go of. We're not really doing anything with that. And I like that I see that big difference between bullying in other schools and in this school. And it's important that I understand your concerns. And I think that taking into consideration that this school isn't very lenient on the discrimination, or like be confident that it won't happen to you again, or any of the issues, because it's not really something that goes on here, especially at Paideia. It's just on this.
And to add on to that, in addition, not only should the school, but parents should also be teaching their kids that even if somebody does have more money or something you don't, that doesn't mean that you should look down on yourself and lose your confidence. And also bouncing off of what you said, the high school has a lot of things that is grouped together with the 7th and 8th graders that doesn't allow us to have much free will with the way we learn and the way we educate ourselves, just because we are grouped with 7th and 8th graders. And I think by setting a new dress code, not only will that separate it, it will show that we can have certain things, unlike the 7th and 8th graders who may not be able to control themselves with the privileges they are given. Whereas high schoolers, not only should we be taught, not only should we know, but we should also learn to gain independence. And that would be something that is an independent choice, allowing your kids to put on their own clothes, and it wouldn't be too difficult because it's simple things. And whereas with the shirts, like you said, it may be easier to buy a shirt, but buying a $5 shirt and buying, how much are the shirts? Is a big difference. Especially in my case, I've been in that position of a low income at the time, or not being able to afford certain things. I know that allowing a simple dress would be cheaper. It could and should be efficient, and it's a great opportunity to teach the independence and the leadership and the form of control that high schoolers should be at.
That's an interesting statement, because y'all look very modest. I would, if I walked into high school and I saw you, I would be like, oh yeah, this is a great place. So do you have to have a lot of money to dress modestly like you are dressing?
No, I got this shirt simply from Target, and it was on sale for $7. My bracelets I make, my mom does my hair, these pants were a gift, these Crocs were also a gift. So
You accepted that gift? I mean, Deja, Crocs. That's the only thing I've done. I want some clarification. Hoodies have been a bane of my life.
And why would that?
Because the hoodie comes in and there's all kinds of designs. It erases any sense of we are us. So tell me more about hoodies and sweaters. What was your idea on that one?
So, like simple logos like college sweaters, we'd love to add because it sort of adds to the school aesthetic. Yeah, the banners also add as well. So we'd like to, introduce the idea of college more than currently is to the high school. So allowing for sweaters with the college logo adds to that. Also, again, it's hard to explain what goes against the dress code, but when you see it. If someone's wearing a hoodie or something that's completely designed out, I don't know where you stand, but currently I'd say it's not dress code posing. So you would say, hey, take it off, whatever. But if someone's wearing a thing that just has a logo here or a logo here or something on the back that's a logo.
That's university? That's
Yeah,
a college university?
Yeah, then I would say that's fine.
And maybe even because we do have brand names are okay, because stuff like Nike, again, gifts are given.
Just a nice Nike swoosh or something like that, Under
Yeah,
Armour.
like Nike, or there's Nike, Adidas, Jordan's, Pink, so many different brands. And if it's like just the name, it's not going to really have an effect on discrimination, because most kids wear it anyways. They wear it outside, some wear it to school, some see their friends wearing it. It's something that even if one person doesn't have it, most people will, or they understand it's a jacket. Most kids also see jackets as a comfort. Like, I have a comfort jacket. Mr. Gilmer's seen it. It's my Jurassic Park jacket. I like it because it's a dinosaur. It's cool, but I don't wear it often because it would be considered under dress code, even though it is not like discriminatory. It's not violent. It's not any of that. It's just a color and a logo. So that could also help students feel more comfortable at school, motivate them to come to school, because they have a little bit more like of themselves with them, because it is you. Sometimes it covers stuff up, but it's just like a shirt would be.
What if somebody came in with a Slipknot logo? Right.
I know what Slipknot is. I wouldn't see anything wrong with it, because it's just like anything else. I understand the genre and most of the design that it probably would be generalized around, but it's a form of music. It doesn't really harm anybody by wearing it, but it's understandable if something like that.
See, that's where I would start to say, man, I'm out.
Adding on to what they're saying, we are not proposing that. we're proposing plain hoodies or university hoodies.
Okay,
And we're hanging up the flags of university,
Yeah,
so it'd
thank
be
you. I
nice
like
to
it.
see people with a university on their sweatshirt. It will also influence other people to like maybe think, oh, what's that college, and research it. And just the small logos, just because it is easier to find than a plain hoodie, because you know Nike's everywhere, Adidas, like
yeah,
brands are everywhere. So a small logo on the side shouldn't affect it. But we're not asking for designed hoodies or anything. They would still be plain or one color.
And
okay.
if a kid does wear it and they do get dress coded, sometimes I've seen teachers ask for them to just turn it
We
inside
just turn it
out.
inside out,
Yeah,
exactly.
because it's not that big of a deal. It's not that big of a problem. You're not telling them to take the jacket home or take it off. Just simply turn it inside out. The design will be safe.
Okay.
I have a quick question. Would you guys be willing to, or are you planning to be the ones to help communicate this new dress code to your fellow scholars and talk about what's
Absolutely.
appropriate, what's not appropriate, and let that come from you?
Absolutely, Megan.
Yeah, I prefer if we say it because then it's coming from students and it would make more people listen, because it's not like, oh, this is just another thing a bunch of adults said to do. It would be, you know, your fellow peers voted on this to like help you get that little bit.
Okay.
I guess a question I have from an administration perspective is, how much time do you spend policing dress code today? And basically, would you have a compare, right? So let's say that, you know, the students were allowed to pilot it, going with that for, you know, a certain amount of time, and use that as a compare against, oh, well, we spent 5 hours on, you know, dress codes this week. Could, you know, as a, yes, can they self-monitor, or does this become, you know, an administrative burden that you all weren't planning and really don't have capacity to maybe take on? Basically saying, how would you know what success looks like?
Because
You
I'm
know what
wondering
I
if
mean?
y'all are willing to police yourselves.
Right.
No, I'm really serious. If you see somebody come in and you know that's not acceptable, are y'all gonna be the ones to go up and say, you know, that's not acceptable?
Yeah, most students do even now, like they'll tell their friends, hey, you're probably gonna get dress coded for wearing that. You should either take it off or go ask the front office if they have another shirt you can wear, maybe an extra pair of pants from the nurse. So it's something that we still do now. And if you look at us, are any of us out of dress code? That would be.
Yeah.
That would align.
The only one I wonder about is Samuel's interior shirt. What is
Okay, but you were easily able to point it out, correct?
that? Easily.
Okay, so it
Yeah,
wouldn't
that's
be
the
much of a
I can relate to it.
Yeah.
I never remember the
Right.
line. No.
Can I
If I
ask?
can-
Oh, I see what it is. It's a cassette tape, a floppy disk or a disc. And, no, that's actually a floppy disk. And the middle one is a V8. Never forget. I
Can I
got
respond
those.
to Zuri's question?
Yes, please. Yeah.
So I do handle a lot of that as far as the dress code situations. If I hit maybe 3 or 4 a week, that's a lot. It's not very often that I am dress coding kids. And to be honest, I've used primarily 7th and 8th grade that gets dress coded. Very rarely.
Rarely.
Do I have high school? The biggest thing with high school is the hoodies. I either tell them to turn the hoodie inside out, or a lot of them have the Gap hoodie that zips up the middle. And if it's something like that, if it's just that logo like it is now, that would be in dress code at that point. So I think that would be actually, I'd say, a little bit better off.
My biggest concern, to be honest, and no, y'all are all dressed very appropriately right now, but as the weather gets warmer, my biggest concern, being high school kids, and I've seen, is just how stinky things can get.
So these kids wear a coat, and it's
I
90
know.
degrees, so I don't really understand what that is. I don't know if that's a comfort jacket thing.
Yeah, getting them to take off a hoodie half the time is a struggle.
Yeah.
Within the dress code, it has rules, it has regulations, just like it does now. And honestly, if anything, the school is very hot most of the time. Kids are honestly most of the time. You will hear a lot of high schoolers complaining that it's not wearing their jackets and still being hot with the Paideia shirts on, whereas if they probably were in the comfort of their own clothes, they may be a little less likely to complain about small stuff like that, because they have a little bit of their own privilege on them.
But I think the issue means, will people start showing up in spaghetti
Yeah.
shop?
After winter, I feel like you just keep your jeans and your hoodies on until the school year is over. Many students actually don't take it off until like the beginning of the next semester because you just get comfortable in it. So I don't think that would be a problem. And also that isn't appropriate. And one of the punishments is you would have to buy the school uniform. So a lot of kids wouldn't want to waste their money. So they would like make sure they follow the dress code.
Wait, if you're out of dress code, you have to go and buy a shirt and brown.
That's the punishment. I didn't know that.
We'll
Okay.
still have the Paideia shirts downstairs.
Okay.
So you would have to
Yeah, you
go
would
buy
have
a
to buy it.
uniform. And it'll be yours to keep, so.
I have a couple of questions.
Okay.
One, what grade are you all in?
You
Are
can
you
go down the
arranged?
line.
Okay.
Oh, I'm in 10th grade.
I'm in 11th.
9, 10.
Yeah.
So you're a good range of the whole high school.
Yeah.
So to Ms. Baker's thing earlier about piloting it, would you say piloting it in a certain grade for the rest of the year to see how it goes would be an option to see if it would pass for next year? Or is that something that's kind of?
No,
No,
there's only 70 of them.
Oh, okay. Well, then what about piloting it for them for
The rest.
the rest of the year and see how many times you have to say, go get
Yeah.
a Paideia shirt versus, what you're
I
wearing
will have
today.
to say, the greatest joy that I have at this place, and the reason we fought, and will continue to fight, is the joy I have is upstairs. These guys, the senior academy, it almost makes it worth it. It does make it worth it because elementary is frenetic. I was there this morning. Poor Carly. I mean, it's just like World War Z zombies. They're just crazy. 7th grade, 8th grade. It's like we're just enduring it with them. We love them so much. And then the refreshing. You go upstairs anywhere in the hallway and you see them joyfully communicating. We have nonsense behaviors we have to deal with, but man, I watch them at lunch and my heart is just filled with love. You should watch them. They frolic and play together. They do. That's why I just say they're frolicking together. It's just beautiful. I trust our high school
I do too.
all the way.
I mean, and it's co-founder of the school. I'm total favor of
Yeah. I would suggest this. I do like the idea of taking this right now and using the next 4 weeks to at least work the kinks out. Because then, let's experiment with it. And then we might come back at the end of that next year and you, with your judgment and our judgment, come back to the board and say, here's what we discovered. Here's some adjustments and here's some things that because we'll tell you, we're policymakers. We never get it right in the first part. We always have to come back and retool and experiment with. Would that be something you'd be willing to do?
Yes, I feel like though it would have to be something that maybe we present at advisory or have the teachers talk about it at advisory just to get the general guidelines down. And we would probably have to make a list of guideline and rules specifically.
Do you want to have a
and
quick
action.
huddle, a family huddle at Senior Academy?
I already had that thought in mind of maybe on a Wednesday, at the afternoon or Wednesday,
Like-
just that last period of the day.
We can go in,
Everybody
Mr.
in Mr. David's room.
Yeah.
And, you guys will
I'll come back
present.
from the break.
Yeah. It's like, yeah. So this is Monday. I'll just leave it up to y'all. With your.
You want a motion?
Yeah.
Well, a couple of
Okay.
points. So first, do you have a proposal that we would even be able to adopt if we were voting on it now? Or do we have only the slideshow?
I don't think we have a written one.
Okay, so a formal proposal would be needed for us to adopt a change. Because the change has to be delineated in the document for us to actually implement it. Right? So a pilot is really the only thing you guys can get right now.
Oh.
I think that's what we.
The other thing is, just as a practical matter, whatever we were to adopt would be revisited over the summer anyway, because we re-adopt all of the dress codes and policies at the beginning of the next year.
Oh.
So if it's okay with the leadership
I see
team,
where you're
and it's okay with the dean, and it's okay with you as the implementers, then taking it to ground yourselves is the way to go.
I like that. If I hear what you're saying, we'll say do a pilot, and then by the end of this year, like by the end of May, you would come up with your written document, because then we meet in June to formalize all the documents. I like that idea.
In which case we didn't have.
So we don't need a motion for the pilot.
Right. That's what I.
But we probably need to acknowledge it in the notes that we said do this thing.
Yeah. You can still do that by discussion.
Yeah.
Because we're
My
not
point
really
is you probably
adopting a
don't need a
policy
motion,
right now,
but
so yeah.
if you're taking it down just to execute at the.
We're going to table this to the June meeting,
Yeah.
policy meeting.
Okay.
Okay.
That's it.
Does that sound acceptable?
That sounds wonderful.
I don't know that I've ever been
I'm a little choked up.
as proud and of our scholars. You made me so proud.
I think this is one of the things that Paideia does for our students.
Yeah.
It develops them, it matures them, it teaches them professional skills.
Yeah.
So good
I
job,
love it.
guys.
I was gonna say something related to what my Nana said, that I'm pretty sure, like, being able to make changes at school, this school personally, is a big factor that other schools definitely will not have, public schools. The fact that I was able to write a petition and have students sign it to get majority vote to change the lunch schedule. get a
That's right.
longer
You
lunch.
did that.
I'm thankful that this school allows that. We're able to make our own changes.
And I can second that with the fact that at public school, you do not get as much say-so, and often, if anything, those things are often pushed over with other things to kind of distract from the problems instead of acknowledging them. So, and I feel that is a good part of this.
Thank you guys so much. All right.
Good job.
No, that's you. I do want to shake their hands as they go.
I think I will, the one thing to say, thank you to the.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes.
You was a kindergartner. That's just this is Daisy.
I'm always worried about music.
That's how it is for you.
Thank you. Did it work? Stop.
Okay, so here I just say table dress code to June meeting and start piloting for the rest of the year.
April pilot. Yeah, this is
It's-
April.
Oh, man.
It's May in a couple days.
Yeah,
Okay.
so the June.
Okay.
But pilot program may start.
I think you could say
That'll be.
executive leadership
that's
team
executive
and the dean of students and the student council will implement a pilot.
Okay. Well, with that, we can go ahead and move on to the executive director report. Going to the audit review.
Mm-hmm. Let me see if I could find that thing. That's not it. That's not it. That's it. Okay, share. Please be there. I tried to make copies. I will make copies for you because this is a good thing for you to have in your binder. The copier made page 11111 and stapled it 222 of my whole. I didn't tell it to do anything.
You have to go in and tell it to collate differently.
Yeah. Our audit passed very well. So this is FY 2023. We passed every audit item. There is a letter that I'll give you there from our auditor that you probably should put in your binder. I'll make sure you have that. That says all went well. There was a couple of places. There's one place that I had to fix. I wish Joel was here, but he's on an airplane. So the only things that the things I keep in my mind are the 3 dashboard items: days cash on hand, debt service coverage ratio, and net profit. And let me see if I could find that. All these means the good. No, there's no finding. We're a low risk oddity. There was one place that we had to do a corrective action plan. And what happened was the balances that were on the our QuickBooks from FY22 didn't all the way match the journal of entries. I'm just saying a lot of words. The journal of entries from the audit of 2023. It was about $121,000. It was $121,000 difference, overstated. So it's not a finding or anything. It was just identified as a system snag that I needed to fix. So the corrective action plan that I put together was this, that I would take the journal of entries every year and make sure that it matched the final audit from the previous year. So Joel and I are going to do that before the end of this year, and I've got it in my financial package of things I'm just going to do every year to overlay those things.
And that's going to be due to QuickBooks?
No, because I'm the executive director. But the QuickBooks, everything is done by Joel. Well, we have Mrs. Windsor who does all the entering, then there's another layer of checks, and then Joel, our financial consultant, matches those, and he just didn't do it, and I didn't do it, and I didn't even think to do it. And then when it came up the audit, then it became, hey, this is a corrective action plan, and I hate those. But I mean, that's important. I think our journal of entries need to match what QuickBooks says, and $121,000 overstate is not good.
It looked like you just had you had an understatement of liabilities or vice versa, and the actual difference is only
Right.
$100.
Right.
Not even.
Yeah.
Yeah, not even $100.
So he focused on the overstated amount, big time.
Yeah.
And then because there was an over, then he just like, you got to find a procedure to make sure this doesn't happen again. Okay, Anthony, I got you. We had there was just another attendance, not finding, but audits all usually find a systems thing that I need to be aware of. And it seems like every year there's something with the registrar's office, not the human. It's just such a complex system. And that what happened was some students, we didn't withdraw kids who had 10 consecutive days fast enough and consistently enough. Because then those 10 consecutive days, they were counted in our membership, which is money, and we should have gone back the 10 days before and withdrawn them like those 10 consecutive days, right? And it's all about money. So every day we get average income. Our bonds now are almost $23 million of bonds. The goal is in 2020, end of 2025, entering 2026, we want to refinance all of this into one bond. And at that point, what I'm going to come back to us and say is when we do this refinance, we're going to refinance to be able to refurnish all the furniture at that building, because that's 12 years old now. It's all showing its age. So we'll redo some of that. There's some capital expenditures. We need a new roof at that building that's now 12 years old. It will be about 13 years old, 14 years old by then. And so right now we have almost $23 million in our bond. And we're going to do that in 3 years. in 2026. Oh, there's our debt service coverage ratio, which, our covenant is 1.1 and we're at 1.41 for fiscal year 2023. That's very financially healthy on that one. Our days cash on hand, remember, our covenant is 45. Fiscal year 23, we're at 105. And I think our net income that year was a little over $2 million that year, which a lot of that we have $4.5 million in a money market account right now, getting about 3.5%. So I put a bunch of that as savings of what we've been able to accumulate over the years. So there's that part. Check it off. I reviewed the audit.
I sign it up. We're going to sign up on the review also, or
No, just that we did it and we have this done. I'll make sure you get the letters. The LCQ, the operations is called the LCQ. You have that inside of your meeting notice. That's a legal compliance questionnaire, and we got everything was all good on that except that one thing was the attendance to 10 consecutive days. Oh, I have to admit, I had one other item on the LCQ. In June, I forgot to upload our meeting notice onto the website, and that was the one they asked for. I
of
know.
course it is.
So I had to just go and say, I forgot. And I thought they'd say, oh, that's okay, little boy. No, they said, red mark. We like you, but you didn't do it. So now you get it. And then I got a letter from the charter board on that one. I know. It's like, oh my God. Finance report. That's from Joel. Let me see if I can pull that guy up. I wish Joel was here. I'm basically on our finance report right now. This is as of March 31st, and you know where I always want to go is to the three key indicators. There's the data from FY 2023. 124 days cash on hand, 1.42. We're in a projected debt service coverage ratio for this year of 1.34. And remember, there's a 3-year look back, so this is going to count. And my worry is for next year, our days cash on hand projected this year is amazing. It's 239 days cash on hand. And does it say the net income? I don't see it there. I'm going to scooch through to the end, so don't look if you get dizzy. There's that. Is that? I think this page is going to tell us our projections. All right, so the projection is we need an average daily membership, our total enrollment of 870 for this coming year. We have set our goal at 960 because we always know that every year we have about a 4 to 6% no-show rate in August. So with that, we are projecting the debt service coverage ratio of 1.10, right on the edge of our covenant. Joel assured me that if we don't make our covenant of 1.1, then what the executive team will have to do is then hold a meeting with the bondholders of that $23 million and just let them know early that we're probably not going to make that. But we're so cash heavy. I mean, we got, $5 million at all times on hand, and then we'll show them that we have days cash on hand. It's just that one thing, the debt service coverage ratio. So that's my worry for next year. For next year, we're projected to have 233 days cash on hand. And the net, you see the net income right there.
Yeah.
So net income next year, 1.7 million with that, and that's a bare minimum of 870 kids school-wide. And right now, I think we have enrolled 708, no, 80s, up in 780s, or something like that, 780. So, any questions or comments, worries on that one?
Or do we expect to get more enrollment, or is that another subject?
I think it's on.
Enrollment is there. Yeah, let's talk about that in a minute.
Okay.
Finance report, stop sharing that. I wanted to, Victoria, if you, I've been talking too much. You want to explain a little bit about what you know about AVID, and I could even pull up something if you wish. Sure.
Okay. Well, we've adopted a structure for our high schools called AVID. If you're familiar with AVID, it's a career and college prep, basically college development, college and career development of prep type program where our scholars would be engaging in sort of a higher level of rigor, challenging. It's not a curriculum. It's more of a structure. It's more of a way that we teach, an instructional practice. And it's around some specific strategies that we would use in every classroom, like writing and inquiry and reading, organization skills, and what am I missing? Collaboration. So our teachers are we have several teachers going to a training in June. And this is just, again, getting that buy-in from our teachers and also giving them an opportunity for some training ahead of time on those strategies and on implementing AVID. We've been to several trainings. I have another one tomorrow, a showcase where they show us what this looks like in practice in a school. So yeah, we'll be implementing grades 7 through 12 next year. It also includes a new elective class called the AVID elective, where they would be learning specific study skills and study sessions, college prep. And that one does have a specific curriculum that goes along with that class, that particular class. Also note-taking strategies, so we have like a school-wide note-taking system, and a school-wide organizational system. So it just sort of systematizes a lot of the things we've already been doing, a lot of the things that are already in our language and what we do, but it really will help us to create more of a system out of those things.
Yeah. AVID schools around the country generate millions of dollars of scholarships, higher levels of college placement and college acceptance, because it's a known system and it is an intentional college and career system for 7 through 12. They have a K-6 as well, but this coming year we're going to focus heavy on 7 through 12, and then in the following year we'll decide whether we want to push it down to K-6. We went to visit a school, Western Charter School in Maryville, and a school, the demographics are just like ours. Walking through the school, I mean, it could have been those kids given the tour easily. And I was just blown away with the system of AVID over there. We can do that. They had a bulletin board up about the scholarships this year is like $2-something million. This little school, 500 kids, and
it shows them how to apply for colleges and how to get how to apply for scholarships.
So providing dual enrollment is one thing, but getting that system to have them be successful and be in school is where we're going with this thing. So, yeah.
Do they share with you all like basically how do you know what the program's successful or
Yes.
what's the amount of time that you need to give it and do it in order to see whatever the success measures actually are?
Well, I would say what we saw was very data driven in terms of the So you're looking specifically at certain success criteria, like the career and college prep criteria, the academic rigor criteria, the instructional practices criteria. So there's specific elements of success that we would have to look for, and we would track data on to determine, and we'd set our own goals.
Yeah, we said
of how we want, what success will look like for us in each of those areas, and that's sort of how we would determine our success.
in fact, the AVID, it's very systematic. I mean, it walkthroughs of what you're looking for as you go through the STEM connections, and the AVID electives in the AVID lessons actually go through different careers, different technologies, different colleges, helps them do what we want. Find your voice. It's just that pathway systematized. We know what we wanted to do. We just didn't have that system to, first of all, do it. And second of all, remember we had that conversation. How do you tell your story? We talked about that for a long time. And so AVID's going to help us to give it language to who we are and what we want to do. Yeah. All right. What's the next thing on there? Enrollment. You kidding me? Where's my phone? It's probably in my office.
So AVID's not it's not a replacement for AP or IB. It's those things.
And those things are curriculum, right? I mean, so this is a methodology framework.
Yeah, it's more of a framework.
Thank you for coming.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Good luck.
What's wrong?
It's a choice. Oh, but it just, oh, you mean just that one particular class? Oh, okay. But they're not choosing to be in at everybody, then at it, because deploying it.
Yeah, it's the AVID strategies, like what I mentioned about reading, writing, and organizing, and all that. That's across the school. So everybody's going to be exposed to all those AVID strategies. We'll make some decisions about the AVID electives and how far we can stretch those with our enrollment.
Yeah, teacher. So, but then it's basically a study hall for learning how to get ready to work.
We can call it a study hall. It does have curriculum. It's very structured. It's structured. So it's not like just teaching you how to study, but we are teaching the skills for success for college.
Actually, I'll show you. That's a good thing to show you. I have it in. I wrote it out into our new SOP. So
as an elective, it's something that's attractive to scholars who are looking to go to college. Scholars who are not looking to go to college would probably skip it.
Oh, if they're interested even in college, there's multiple levels of, we're talking about post-secondary education. Yeah.
college
So it
and
might be
career.
a technical school, trade school, yeah.
Let me make sure I can
Our
share.
social director's son is in it. Skyline. I mean, they've got some college applications and pays for all his applications. They haven't had to pay for them. And they coach them do that on how to, writing the essays for the applications. And it's a lot different than I like the
Yeah, I was gonna say.
It was created by a teacher in San Diego, maybe somewhere in California, and it was during the '80s when they started busing a bunch. In fact, my wife Mickey was part of that busing in San Bernardino. And a bunch of kids of color and poverty were now bused into this school that the teacher's like, not these kids aren't going to make it. So this one teacher just took them, and she created this thing called AVID, Advancement via Individual Determination, I think is what it's called. And it started in 1980 that, yeah, these kids can make it.
Well, the rest,
Go ahead.
yeah, in a nutshell, yeah.
And
And they all ended up applying to and getting into college, all of the students.
And in many schools like Phoenix Union and other schools, you have to apply to be in the program. And you have to be a certain poverty level, the first student going to college from your family, and those kinds of things. There's some indicators that makes us so.
But that's not how it's supposed, well,
That's not how I want it to be.
that's not an AVID thing. That's just how those schools chose to do that. But that's not something AVID says, like, you have to be a first generation or you have to be at a certain level. You know, it's not, that's not how it was originally. Yeah,
Do they do that because they have limited resources?
perhaps.
Well, no, I don't think so. Because there was the comment made, Victoria, you remember the comment was made, well, if everybody gets to do it, it's no longer special. That kind of comment was made over there. Because there was some pushback, like, why can't all the kids do it? Well, if all the kids can do it, then who's going to beat their chest that I'm an AVID graduate? And I was like, I don't like that.
Selectivity for selectivity.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I didn't like that part of it. And so I thought, no, we're going to do the whole thing. Got to get down to where this thing is. Sorry. Getting closer. Coach Digital. Can I do a search of this document while online?
You can, but you're almost there.
My
I would say you
I
can
was just saying, because
if you know the
loading
page,
slow,
you can
see
put the page on
number,
the
but
bottom.
I don't know the page.
Oh,
It was like
125.
Oh, was it 125?
I
Good
thought it
job.
was like 170.
Could have been 125 because I'm past that.
I thought I read 120 something.
Yeah.
We're at ELL stuff.
That's in there, page number one.
Sped. Getting closer. Sorry if you're watching on YouTube. There we go. How do you do a search on this when you're online? Control F? Did it work?
Yeah.
Oh, I see. Yeah, I should have done this first. I tried to do that, but it wouldn't give me.
You don't have hyperlinks.
129. Oh, I can just go like this, get you out of my way.
Just
There we go.
242. So those pages numbers are just tag.
AVID school hire.
There we go. Yay, I recognize the place I wrote. It started good. Okay, so AVID. Advisory classes. There you go. So connecting your interest to career options, exploring computer science, smart economics for grades 6 through 8, financial literacy, post-secondary options, building career preparedness, book study, and then monitoring your digital format. So those are the lessons that they go through. But it's much more that there's when we went to watch this AVID place, we stood in the AVID elective, and they're having this thing called collaborative study groups. So throughout the day, the kids would get this tutorial request form. So let's say I'm in math and I'm not getting it. I just go get this tutorial request form and I fill out this request form. Like, I'm not sure what's going on here. You bring that to the AVID elective and you have your collaborative study group help you through that math problem. It's very collaborative inside of the AVID.
But that's
elective.
different than the other sign up for a block to meet with your teacher thing.
Well,
So it can happen within.
that's where we're going to take it to the flex schedule. Yeah. Anyway, I get excited about it. I'm excited about that coming to us. Keep going. Sorry. Enrollment. I just went ahead and just brought my agenda because we discussed enrollment at our meeting last. I'll just pull that up. All right, here's what we have. We have a total of 784 students. We have 521. The problem is kinder right now. We have 24.
Wow.
Yeah. 72 first graders enrolled. 86 second, 81 third, 83 4, 83 5, 92 sixth graders. At this time of year last year, we had 473 in the elementary school, and we're at 521, which encourages me. In 7th through 12, we have enrolled at this moment for next year, so I'm talking about 82 7th, 89, 42 ninth graders, 23 10th graders, 20 11th graders, and 7 seniors, 12th graders. We have 263 at PLA. Last year was 215 at this time. So I'm encouraged. I mean, we should be encouraged about it. 784, which, we're 100 away from that 900. Joel gave us 800. Well, I shouldn't say that loud. 960 is where we need to get to.
Well, kindergarten always lags.
They do. You've been with us long enough to know. Yeah.
Seems like it's really
July, and all of a sudden they all show up.
So how are your transition points on 10, 11, 12, I guess?
Great question. So, 10th, well, 9th grade. Let's see, how am I going to do this thing? Right now, I think we have 80 or so 8th graders, and then 42 half, which is a lot better than last year. Out of the 20, what do we have, 25 ninth graders? 23 of them are staying with us.
Nice.
Out of the 20 10th graders or 25 10th graders?
Yeah.
20. So we're keeping them. And then out of the 11th graders, 7, they're all staying with us. So that's very nice. So yeah, it's good. I'm encouraged with PLA, and I love what we saw right there. They want to be their own entity. They want to have their voice, and that was very good. Okay, that's enrollment. On track. Staffing.
Oh, did we want to talk about enrollment strategies?
Oh, sure.
Oh, yeah.
Go ahead, Beth.